What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm taking a look at Cobra Kai. We're back. It's the Part B final season, and we're resuming. So we did Part A had 5 episodes, which means we're now on episode 6, and we are at the set kai tai. I'm never gonna get that right. Set kai. Anyway, did I? You guys know it says audio description. So the fight scenes excellent. There are a couple in here. Obviously, I was like, okay, so because by the way, there's a third part to the final season. So we're in the mid part. So obviously, I'm like, are they gonna crown the champion? This feels a little bit early to start. Like, are we gonna get 5 episodes at this 10? Like, how long are we gonna spend at this tournament? Um, so they have to enter in really slowly. And they sort of explain the rules, the dynamics. Of course, everybody's shocked because at the end of part A, we saw Tori, who was denied the opportunity after her mom died to compete with Miyagi-Do, is now with Cobra Kai. They've retaken their name, by the way. Kreese has retaken the name. Which is so weird because I was like, why? First of all, didn't like he crawled out of like nothing. He was in jail and crawled out of nothing, and then that I don't know what her name is. Angry lady. The angry lady um brought him in to help shape up the recruits. But why is the dojo named Cobra Kai now? Like, when they said Cobra Kai, I was thinking, wouldn't it be funny if, what was, uh, Stingray? If, if Stingray, because was he using Cobra Kai's dojo name? If Stingray had shown up with those, like, little kids, they were like, we're here because we took the Cobra Kai name, so we qualified. Um, Unfortunately, no, that's not. I guess somebody has to be Cobra Kai. That's the name of the TV series. But um, uh, so yeah, our uh, dojo leaders are still at odds with each other, which is predictable. They have to share a room. Everybody. That's one of the things they do in this. Is they break people up by rooms. Obviously, Eli and Hawk still have beef, so they split up instead of like naturally sharing a room together, which is what everybody sort of assumed. So they, instead of it being Eli and Hawk in a room, they're split up. It doesn't really matter. I'm not even going to go into like who goes with who because they make it irrelevant. Obviously, Tori and Devin are sharing a room, and I love that Johnny, who has a Spanish-speaking, I want to say stepson. I want to say that Miguel is like they're married now, that he's because they're, or they will be because she's pregnant. But he's got like a Latina wife, fiance, whatever. And he's speaking a little bit of Spanish, but then he's thrown by, because he's obviously they wanted to use the joke about what the word shower in Spanish means. And he's like, did she just call me a douche? And I was like, how have you not heard that before? You just spoke like almost a complete Spanish sentence over the phone. And then like you didn't know that ducha was shower. Like, anyway, we're scraping for jokes. So I love this show though. But it did kind of make me, I was like, this is not a joke he can have and also be surrounded. He now lives with a Latino family. Like, it's just not something. It's a joke that no longer makes sense for him because he would have heard these words before and he would not have been thrown off by a word like that. Like, I'm sure he's picked up enough. He can't speak a partial Spanish sentence and then be like, ducha? Did you just call me a douche? Like, no. The I would say the boys, mainly Robbie, There's a lot of concern for Robbie because obviously, like, you know, his girlfriend is on Cobra Kai now, and he was trying to reach out to Tori, and Tori's very conflicted too, and Kreese is worried. Actually, more of Angry Lady is worried about Tori. I know she has a name, I don't care. Um, and she's more worried that Robbie's going to cloud her judgment and that Tori's not going to be able to do what she needs to do. But Tori's got her eye on the prize. Tori is not really willing to give Kreese the time of day. But Kreese is still being as supportive as he can for somebody who's obviously Satan. And so Tori is the female captain, and she's like, the only reason I took female captain is so I'm the last one standing at the end. And Quan is who they sort of built up as a character in the first 5 episodes, is the male captain for the other team. And Quan challenges Robbie to this who can kick higher fight, and they make a bet for the room that Robbie is sharing, and that's why I'm saying it doesn't matter, because Robbie loses, and so they all end up in one room. So all 4 Miyagi-Do boys end up rooming together, and Quan gets his own room. Ha ha ha. And I was like, well, of course the Miyagi-Do boys are going to have to see that this other dojo is challenging. But as I point out, they are, even within that, in that, Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai are just 2 of the 16 dojos from around the world. So their local rift, you know, where they were just like the 2 dojos of like Southern California, no longer works. So, and that's what I really liked about this episode, is when we finally get to the challenge after, you know, everybody has, well, Devin has sort of a heart-to-heart with Tori, and then Samantha comes in, and we see that what could have turned it bad ends up being that Samantha and Tori are pretty cool, but Sam's like, you know, I would have helped you if you just asked. But you know, when we get to the final, I'm going to bring it. And Tori's like, if it comes to that, and Sam's like, it will. Okay. It probably will. It probably will be the 2 of you in the end. But I'm very conflicted because I actually want Tori to win because I like her narrative better than Sam's. But then that would throw everything in a wrench because I definitely don't want Quan to win. So it has to be one of the Miyagi-Do boys, but I don't know which one. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I still think Miguel, which I think, especially considering they have Robbie pegged as team captain, I kind of want Miguel to still come from behind. This was always his show from the very beginning. And I feel like if we're going out in the end, it has to be Miguel. So if you're just asking where that's at, where my head's at right now, I would say I want Miguel to win the whole thing. Even though I like all 4 of the boys who were invited as characters. Devin's really the only one that I really don't care what happens to Devin. She was introduced too late in the thing, and yeah. Anyway, so there's a protect the egg thing, but it's not really protect the egg. It's also team captains. So there's a rule where if the team captain goes down, the whole team is eliminated. So they have to try to take down the team captains from the other team, and this is where it gets a little bit tough because, of course, Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai both use their team captains to full extent, and they both attack along with the other people in their dojo, and Miyagi-Do loses. Basically, they have a team captain go down first, which knocks them out. But they're like 3rd, I think, in the thing. Because after that, it's Cobra Kai and this other dojo, which we find out Johnny had a brief encounter with when he caught some dude stealing multiple steaks at the buffet. So there were no steaks left for him. And Daniel was like, that could have been a donor. I'm like, that dude's not a donor. He's a douchebag. But it's funny to see Johnny out-douched by somebody. And it's this guy who turns out to be the I don't know, the dojo, the head of this other dojo were they the 9 dragons or something like that? The head of fire dragons or something. I don't know. But, and that's what I liked about it, is that Cobra Kai didn't win the first challenge either. They got defeated. They turn around and there's this other dojo where like all 6 people are still standing. Like, they've made it through. Cobra Kai has Quan, Tori, and I don't know, some other random. And so there it's like 3 against 6. And the other dojo is so confident that the 4 people who are not team captains just take a knee and leave. And they let their team captains fight. So immediately Cobra Kai gains an advantage, theoretically. But they're not ready for this dojo either. This dojo just absolutely knocks them down. I think Tori's the one that hits the floor first. So yeah, not great for either dojo, but also narratively far more interesting than making this about adding like a third dojo, even though I don't know who the hell they are, like actually making us realize, oh yeah, the other dojos all qualified to be in this really tough competition. So why would it continue to just be Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai at the top, pulling the same talent from the same region? All the best karate players are in Southern California. Everybody knows this. So that was what I liked the most about the episode. Performance wise, I don't know who took the episode in terms of performance. Maybe Tori, probably. She had the most to do emotionally, in terms of that narrative. We did get to see Chosen. I was like, what happened to Chosen? And Chosen just comes in and he has this thing with a flower and he's like, I bought the flower. I'm like, oh God, please give Chosen something to do. So that's Cobra Kai. We're back. I'm going to keep doing episode by episode instead of the whole thing, because I did the first 5. I like to spread out my Cobra Kai love. This is the final season. I know some people are going to drop like all of part B. And it's like, yeah, I could do that, but I enjoy not binge watching things I love. So, thanks for watching. I'm going to give this, it had a couple issues, a couple things where I foreshadowed and I saw coming. I was like, Robbie's gonna lose this. I was like, why can Johnny speak like some Spanish, but he's never heard this word before? Obviously that dude is not a donor. And even if he was Daniel, why would you want him? Like, your whole thing about Miyagi-Do is like a vibe of like Zen and tranquility. And this dude's taking like multiple steaks off so that no one else can have any. And you're like, oh, I want him. He's clearly going to understand what Miyagi-Do is. It's like, no. So there were like a couple things here that narratively for me just don't work. But I think the ending was strong. The fact that they actually decided to go, oh, by the way, there are other dojos here and they are really good. just so you know. So it's going to be a little bit harder, and maybe the battle won't just be Miyagi-Do versus Cobra Kai at the end. They have to fight to get one of the final 4 spots to be in the finals as a dojo, which is what they're in right now. Obviously, both of them are going to qualify for the final 4, but who knows what that final 4 makeup is going to look like. So, yeah, a couple problems. I'm going to give it a B+. It's not the cleanest Cobra Kai episode. Chosen does kind of enter in like, what? More flour. Bro. It's like they were like, oh yeah, by the way, Chosen's here. We have to do something with him. Anyway. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.